So later I got interested not only about Iran in this phenomenon of totalitarianism. So I went and I studied as my professional studies. I went to study the post-communist and communist era Central and Eastern European. Just to imagine, here we have Prague, 1968. The Dubček is in power, and he's coming with the very tiny reforms. Actually, Dubček is a communist. He has no problem with establishment. He just wants to do some very tiny, minor economic reforms. Later, when they got the tapes between the meeting of the Warsaw Pact, we will see that Brezhnev was pretty afraid to siege and to occupy Czechoslovakia. But then Ulbricht, the DDR or German Democratic Republic, which was more orthodox, came with this very famous Snowball argument, said if Dubček starts to do this minor reform, then you cannot stop this process. Everywhere they want to have more reform, and then with a very tiny reform, then you have this huge avalanche and the whole system will collapse. That's exactly inside thinking of Mr. Khamenei. He said, if I go just one step back, and I'm telling this frankly to the people in Western administration, in US administration, in politics, that if they think that they can somehow do these arguments and dialogues with Khamenei, he really solidly, as point of his personal political psychology, believes that any step back has been read by the public and by West as point of weakness, and then they want everything. So this is not going to work with him, negotiation, step back, step forward. So I think from the very start of reform movement, it was crystal clear that they're not going to tolerate that. If it comes to, as they did, house arrest of Mousavi, Karoubi, Khatami, they're not going to tolerate that. There will never be any chance for a genuine reform based on the civic society capacities in Iran. They know perfectly the people are so fed up with this system, and the whole system is so inefficient ideologically that if they just open any tiny window, the whole system is going to collapse. And I think this is our strong point, because the job is almost done. It just needs a very tiny little move, because people are ready. I'm quite familiar, I think, on my own level to think tanks and institutes which are working on Iran, and I know the discourse here in DC and United States. Nobody would ever imagine that there will be 5 million people protesting in Azadi Square in Tehran. Nobody. Intelligence community, they were always playing that down. They would say, no, it has no roots. If you see all the reports, everything, almost everything done by many think tanks on Iran, nobody was not ready for 5 million people coming to Tehran and say, death the dictator. And that's 1 year or 1.5 years before the spring Middle East. So I think the thing is just ready for a kind of, the kind of involvement of West in Eastern Europe and Central Europe, just helping people to be able to express their opinion. We do not need to make an opinion. Their public opinion is, even in a lot of points, more anti-establishment, the Islamic Republic, than opinion in the West. I think Mr. Ahmadinejad, in particular, some of Western countries have probably more support than Iran. He is president of a country which people coming, the unique country which people are coming under the threat of the police, under the threat of harassment. They're coming to the center of Tehran to sympathizing with victims of 11th September. So as far as I know, in no other country in the region, even US allies, for example, Turkey, something like this never happened. A country which 40–50% people vote for atheist secular parties, nothing happened. Something like that. But in Iran, under the arrest threat, the people, the young people, they know that they're going to be arrested. They're coming and express their sympathy toward the United States of America. They publicly support United States of America's fight for freedom. these are unique things. These are the things you can see only in the United States, in Israel, and in Iran. So I think public opinion is pretty ready. It just needs technical help. It just needs, this assistance which West gave to Eastern European countries to free themselves from the Soviet Union.